I researched different ways to draw the human head and decided to draw with the Loomis Method. From one of my previous videos, I mentioned how I was going to do a drawing journey, and with this drawing journey, I was going to draw a portrait of my son who had passed away when he was a baby. I wanted to do this to honor his memory. But before I do that, I need to learn how to draw people and draw portraits specifically. I took 5 days to learn the Loomis Method, and this is what I learned. But first, I want to mention that I did get the book on Audible, the Loomis Method book, and it was kind of hard to see the pictures. They do have some stuff to look at through Audible, but I think the actual book is a better resource for this type of learning. I do have links below to the books. They are through Amazon, and take a look at them. I highly recommend getting the physical book. There are many references out there on how to use the Loomis Method, and I looked at tons of them, different ways of drawing it. There's many artists out there that use this method, and so it was interesting to see how each one interpreted it and used it in their own drawing. I love to have physical references, physical books. It's a lot easier for me to look at it, go back and forth to my own drawings, and so I have books to show me how to do stuff. So let's get into this. First day. First day was just getting familiar with the concept. I noticed that I needed to have the guide handy so that I can look at it and compare it to my own drawings. The second day, I wanted to start adding facial features, but I noticed it was a little awkward, so I started to look at other methods of drawing faces. Now the third day, I went back to the Loomis Method, mostly because I noticed that it was a lot easier to get the proportions faster. And at this point, I was trying to add the facial features in each of the drawings. Day 4 was not my best. I just needed to get the practice in. So you will notice that when you learn a new skill or a technique, that sometimes you might feel like you took a step back, and it may feel really frustrating, but if you're persistent and if you keep practicing, that is what's going to allow you to get better. And day 5 was a little easier to draw out the guidelines and to get the proportions right. And one of them, you'll notice the lines, they were not spaced out evenly. So in this day 5, I started to notice things that I was doing wrong and how it was going to give me problems when I started adding the facial features. And so I started having a better understanding of the proportions and how to get it right so that I can make a proportionate drawing. So my experience was only for 5 days. I'm going to continue to learn and continue to get comfortable with doing this Loomis Method, as well as start to learn more about the facial features and practicing the eyes, specifically the nose, the mouth. And I'm gonna list out a few takeaways that I learned and that may be helpful for you as well. Also, if you have a favorite way to draw the human body, if you have a method or a technique that really works for you, comment below. Let us know what you do, and we're always open to learning new things and hope to hear from you and know what works for you. So first one, at first it was a little awkward, but by day 5 I was making more sense, and it started to get a little easier to get into it. Also, practicing often is what will help me get better quicker, and I need to remember that it's a process. For some of you, it may take a little longer, but others it might go a lot faster, and that's okay. We all learn at different paces, and so just keep working at it. And I realized that mastering proportions is the first step, and then learning how to do the details like the facial features is my next step. Another thing that I learned is having many resources makes it easier to get the knowledge and understanding to really master it. I noticed how I kept looking at different books, looking at different stuff online, and just having the concept and the basic understanding of how the head looks, how it's structured, is what really helps me understand how I'm going to make this look more realistic. All right, so the last takeaway, I would suggest getting the actual book. For me, having a book handy was very nice. I don't think that having online sources are bad, but there's something about having a physical book and being able to look at it and study it just seemed to make a bigger difference for me. What is the Loomis Method? Basically, the Loomis Method it was created by the artist William Andrew Loomis, and he lived quite a while ago, 1892 to 1959. And he was an American illustrator, writer, and art instructor. And he's got a few books out there that teaches you how to realistically draw the human body, not just the head. And one of the reasons why it became so popular is because it's so easy to understand and to learn and to remember. I learned a lot during this process, and I hope you are able to learn something as well. I'll be making more videos as I learn the facial features such as eyes, nose, mouth, ears, etc. And so like and subscribe so that you can see these other videos and join this journey with me. And speaking of journeys, this other video relates to this topic that I've been doing, and it describes my drawing journey like I mentioned earlier in this video. So check it out, and I will see you in the next one.